evening, good afternoon, good night. You're back on CryptoBanter.com, the world's first 24/7 live call-in crypto station. This is the channel where you bring the banter and you make the calls, and of course, you break the news. Today, we've got a very, very, very big show for you today. Bitcoin sits on a cliff. It's either going to break up, in which case we're going to the levels of about 24,000, or it's going to go down. And when it goes down, it could go down as low as 14,000. We're going to look at the graphs, the charts, and all the data driving these potential moves. Then we've got an extra special treat for you guys. A live charting part of the show where you name the coin and we chart it for you live. You name whichever coin you want, whichever alt you want. Bitcoin, Ethereum, RSR, Link, you tell us and we'll chart it for you live. And then if you've got money to invest in crypto, say you've got $1,000 in crypto, $1,000 that you want to invest in crypto, how should you invest it? How much should you put in Bitcoin? How much should you put in alts? And if you are going to invest in alts, what are the alts going to be? Later on in the show, we've got a big treat for you. Altcoin Psycho. A big altcoin trader is going to be live on our show. He's going to be shilling his bags, telling you what he's buying and what he's selling, and you can call in and ask him questions. But before we get to that part of the show, we're going to cross over live to the USA to see what the folk in Silicon Valley are buying, what they think the trends are, and what they think is going to happen to the market in the next couple of weeks.
Crypto Banter is the world's first interactive social cast for the crypto community. Get the latest news, views, interviews, and live conversations with crypto enthusiasts from around the world. This is where you call in, you make the show, and you bring the banter. That's CryptoBanter.com, where you talk crypto.
Welcome back to CryptoBanter.com, the world's first live 24/7, 365 crypto call-in station. Yep, we're not live 24/7 all the time as of yet, but we are building the station to bring traders real-time trading information at the touch of a button. In order to do that, we need you guys. We need you guys to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button now, because the more times you hit the like button and the more times you hit the subscribe button, the more other traders get this information through the YouTube algorithm. Not only that, this is a call-in show. If you want to call into our show, the numbers are displayed on the screen. You can telegram us at Crypto Banter. You can call in on WhatsApp at 1-646-732-4269. Or you can go to our website, and there's a widget there which allows the crypto community to call in and remain anonymous. So without any further delay, let's look at the big moves of the day. And undoubtedly, the big story of the day is the Bitcoin price. As you guys have been noticing, the Bitcoin price has been struggling to break the all-time high. It broke the all-time high for a very short period of time, but then the selling pressure came. Where is the selling pressure coming from? Can we expect it to break the all-time high or not? That's what we're going to be looking at today in the show. But before we do that, we're going to cross over to the USA, to Zach Brown, who's going to be giving us his view of where the market's going, whether Bitcoin is going to be going up or down, and what the smart VCs are investing in. Zach, welcome to our show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Zach, you guys are the smart money in Silicon Valley. And before we get into where the smart money is going, I want to ask you, why do you think Bitcoin can't break this all-time high?
We're seeing both macro features pointing to an environment that allows for that, and lots of on-chain metrics that signal the same thing.
So what exactly are we seeing? What is it that's preventing us from hitting that 21,000, 22,000, 23,000? The sentiment's there. The banks are adopting this. Grayscale seems to be growing every single day. What is it that's stopping us from just powering through the 21,000, 22,000 levels?
It may be very well psychological, but as you mentioned, we're seeing lots of the institutional adoption that we have been waiting for, and it might just be a matter of time.
Zach, what's got you the most excited about Bitcoin in this whole bull run? We've had a lot of big things happening. We've had Guggenheim saying they're doing it, Paul Tudor Jones saying that he's buying, companies moving their treasuries into Bitcoin. What for you is the most exciting news? Like when you hear this, you say, okay, I know I've been a Bitcoin junkie. I know I've been an early adopter, but when I heard this this just reaffirmed the case. What is that news?
I think beyond some of the narrative that we're seeing be adopted by these players that you're mentioning, we're seeing Lightning start to develop further and smart contracts come to Bitcoin in a meaningful way. And so it's both the narrative and the tech that's pushing us forward.
Okay, that's quite interesting because Paul Tudor Jones said yesterday that, or we showed it on our show yesterday, he said it a while back, but he said the reason why he's so bullish on Bitcoin is because of the community and the intellectual power of the community that's behind it. And I think he's referring to development power and the capital and stuff like that. He didn't mention Ethereum. He didn't say crypto. He said Bitcoin. Most people think that you can't really do smart contracts on Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin can't really compete with Ethereum. What's your view? Is Bitcoin the one chain? Is it, are people eventually going to do all these smart contract things on Bitcoin?
I think we're going to be living in a multi-chain world, and there's a place for Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other chains as well. It's exciting to see Bitcoin continue to evolve as a technology, but I think smart contracts on Ethereum offer something unique, and we're seeing that narrative play out as well.
Do you think that with all these other protocols, we will be able to do sophisticated smart contracts on Bitcoin at some point?
I think we are starting to see the beginning of that, and time will tell.
All right, so you guys are the venture capital money, and I mean, you guys take bets on early stage venture capital companies in this space. What are you guys looking at the moment?
Beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum and the DeFi narrative that's going on, we're beginning to see the decentralized web narrative form, with projects like Altcoin and Handshake launching this year.
How bullish are you on DeFi? I mean, are you guys DeFi bulls? Have you guys moved beyond DeFi?
So DeFi is very exciting. It's approaching $15 billion in market cap on Ethereum today. It's very exciting, and beyond that, the decentralized web, I believe, is the next narrative that we'll see adoption in.
All right, so I want to break it up. Let's talk about DeFi first, because that's been a big theme in our show. Clearly, the biggest winner in DeFi is the Ethereum blockchain, because it seems that most of the projects and most of the venture capital money in DeFi is going into Ethereum. Are there other chains that can compete with Ethereum when it comes to DeFi?
With the user base it has and the network effect, it's going to be hard. And I think that we're seeing signs of other chains being complementary to Ethereum, not necessarily competitive. And so Audius is a good example of a project that has some of its technology on Ethereum and some on other smart contract platforms.
Okay, so you're saying that people are only using the Ethereum blockchain when they absolutely have to, and they're doing other computations and other blockchain entries on side chains, other chains, and layer 2 solutions.
I think that's right. I think we're seeing a lot of the important DeFi things happening on Ethereum and being able to off-put some of the other things elsewhere.
All right, now I'm watching the comments here in the YouTube, and it's going mad around DeFi and Lightning and everything else. Guys, if you want to join the show, first of all, I want you guys to stop, and I want you guys to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button now, because as I said to you before, we need the likes to go up. We need the subscribes to go up. Otherwise, we're just simply not going to get the distribution. Remember also that you can call in, and if you want to call in anonymously, either one of our producers will drop the StreamYard link into the chat, or you can go to www.cryptobanter.com, and then you can call in by clicking the widget, and of course you will remain anonymous. We don't want to know who you are. We just want to get your golden nuggets. Zach, in the DeFi space, what are the biggest or the best protocols that you're watching as an investor?
I think it's hard not to be bullish on Uniswap and the network effect that it has as a decentralized exchange. The volume and the fees that it's generating are hard to ignore.
What kind of volumes and fees is Uniswap doing? I mean, for those viewers who don't know, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange, which effectively allows you to trade ERC20 tokens or Ethereum-based tokens against one another. And it's done in such a way where the tokens remain in your wallet until the time of the swap, which means that they never sit on a centralized exchange. So if any of these centralized exchanges get hacked, if you're using Uniswap, you're not going to be hacked. Zach, what are the fees? What are the transaction volumes on Uniswap?
Yep, the volumes have hit as high as billions of dollars a day, and on average right now are hundreds of millions of dollars of volume every day.
So what excites you about Uniswap? I mean, is it that people like you and I can go there and we can buy and sell in a decentralized way without a centralized exchange, or is that the part that excites you?
It's that, and it's that as a foundation for other apps and protocols to build on top of it.
All right, so let's talk about those other apps and protocols. And I guess that's probably the DeFi space that we're talking about. When you look at actual protocols that are building on top of these DEXs or using these DEXs as oracles or as price feeds or as exchange mechanisms, what are the more exciting projects? I mean, we've seen Andre Cronier's YFI shoot through the roof. It seems like he's becoming a merchant banker of sorts. I mean, he seems to have done a deal with Cream. He did a deal with Pickle. He did a deal with Sushi, which was the exchange that Vampire attacked Uniswap. Which ones of those are the most exciting ones for you?
Yeah, I think there's two buckets today. There's the purely financial services, and you're speaking to Urine, and I think that's one that's very exciting. Andre's building something really special there. And then you also have these non-purely financial services that are selling goods and services like art and t-shirts and all sorts of non-purely financial services. And these applications like Foundation and Zora are leveraging decentralized exchange to be able to make that happen.
Are we talking about things like NFTs? Is that more or less what you're talking about when you talk about these other ones?
Yes, that's correct. The NFT is part of that, and some of these protocols that use that are leveraging Uniswap to do so.
Alrighty. You also mentioned that you guys are very bullish on Handshake, and Handshake, if I remember correctly, is Joseph Poon's smart contract platform or competitor to Ethereum. And we were going to get Stephen Mackey on the show, and we will at some time, but he's very bullish on Handshake. What exactly is Handshake?
Handshake is a decentralized name registrar. So it replaces the root zone of the internet, and that's where top level domains are managed. That's like .com and .net and .org. And that lets anybody own their own top level domain on the internet.
Okay, whoa. Explain that to me in layman's language, because most of our viewers don't really understand that level of detail. So walk us through why you'd need to use something like this, or who would need to use something like this.
So crypto network like Bitcoin and Ethereum are permissionless, they're permanent, they're censorship resistant, but the way that we access these networks online are not. The sites and the applications that we use today are still centralized choke points. And so so Handshake goes after the naming level of the internet and how we resolve domains to make that layer of the internet open and decentralized. That's in parallel with some other projects like Filecoin that are looking to decentralize other pieces of the internet stack so that our front end applications are as open and as resilient as the back end.
So basically, this is the other thesis that you guys were bullish on. You said you were bullish on DeFi. You're also bullish on Web3. Web3 is effectively decentralizing the web, making it more anonymous, more decentralized. And you're saying that in order for that to happen, there's certain layers that have to happen. Now, Filecoin is the file storage network of that, the decentralized file storage network, which is built, of course, on IPFS. Then you've got Handshake. What are the other components that are necessary or that are being developed in this new web stack?
Well, there's many. To us, that the main components are money and markets on the back end, and naming and file and data storage on the front end. There are a handful of other layers that over time we'll see decentralized. We believe that those are the the key protocols that need application-specific layer 1 blockchains.
So when you look at the Web3 stack, what are you bullish on? So you've mentioned Filecoin. Are you bullish on Filecoin at these levels? I mean, Filecoin essentially took a long time to roll out, and they built an incredible piece of technology. But I mean, at this market cap, I mean, it's the market cap is huge, and on a fully diluted basis at $30 a token, I mean, I can't even do the maths as to how big the market cap is.
So there's a lot of competition in the file and data storage space. Along with Filecoin, we've seen SiaCoin that has rolled out Skynet as their file and data storage layer that competes with Filecoin. The two of them are really strong technologies. From the position of Handshake and the larger crypto space, competition at the file and data storage layer is healthy. And from Handshake's perspective, we're seeing a lot of adoption from SiaCoin developers, not so much from Filecoin yet.
What about AAVE? I mean, AAVE also has a data a storage solution. They've got a very sophisticated way of doing it using game theory. What do you think of AAVE? AAVE's market capitalization on a fully diluted basis is about $150 million versus Filecoin's one, which is $3 billion plus. Have you looked at AAVE as a protocol?
Yeah, so AAVE is another one that's in the market that's seeing adoption today. I think Filecoin's release is really going to anchor the market of where these file storage networks can be valued at. And AAVE, you mentioned Sia, Storage, some of these other cryptocurrencies in this space could see price increases as a result of where Filecoin's trading today. Alrighty,
Zach, before I let you go, we're playing a game on our show. The game is called Invest, or How You Should Invest $1,000 in Crypto. What we're going to do is we're going to write down the name of every guest. We're going to write down their portfolio, and then we're going to check it out on a live basis. We're going to post it on the Crypto Banter website. We're also going to post it in our Telegram group. So, Zach, before I let you go, if you had $1,000 to invest today in crypto, what would you invest it in? And you've only got $1,000.
Okay, we'll put 500 into Ethereum. We'll put 200 into Bitcoin. That gives us 300 left. We'll put 150 into Uniswap and 150 into Handshake.
Okay, why Ethereum? I mean, you said Ethereum first. You were like 500 into Ethereum. Why Ethereum?
It's the second largest market cap coin. It is up across all metrics, but has much more room to grow versus Bitcoin in getting and surpassing its all-time high.
So you think that you share the thesis that if you were to put together Bitcoin and Ethereum head to head, in the short term, Ethereum's probably got a lot more upside, maybe more risk, but a lot more upside.
I believe so. And the launch of Ethereum 2 yesterday is incredibly promising for that.
And that went off without a glitch. They've got enough validators. They've got enough coins staked. So it kind of seems like it's all systems go there, right?
I believe so.
Alrighty, Zach, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our show. Next up on our show, we've got a very special guest for you guys. And not only have we got a very special guest for you guys, we've also got a very special feature with this guest. Coach K, you're back on the show. Zach, thank you so much for your input. Coach K, you saw that segment. Everyone's doing great, man. You saw the segment with Zach. One of the things we're going to ask you to do at the end of the show is to tell us where you would put your $1,000 in crypto. Now, I must say, when I posted this on Twitter today and when I posted this on the Telegram group, everyone said, I'm going to follow Coach K. So I'm going to go with where Coach K puts his money. But
all right. That's good. That's good.
This is not why I got you on the show. This is not why I got you on the show. You know that, right?
Absolutely, man. It's not financial advice. I'll do that whole, you know, as much as I say, please do not take this as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
I'm gonna help you with that, and I'm just gonna drop this.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.
How's that?
That was good. I like that.
Alrighty, okay. So, Coach K, the reason why I have you on today is because we're going to play a little game. What it's called, you name the coin, we chart it. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the community to come in and tell us which charts they want. We're going to call up those charts. But while we're waiting, Coach K, the Bitcoin chart, can you call up the Bitcoin chart? And tell me what you think should happen. We know Bitcoin's sitting on a cliff. We know it's either up, and if it goes up, I've heard levels of 23, 24,000. The scarier thing for me is the down, because I've heard that if it goes down, then we could go down to as low as 12 or 13,000.
Yes.
Alrighty, right. So while we're waiting for Coach K to put up his charting equipment, I want to remind you guys that if you are watching this live, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button now. That way we get more distribution. More distribution means we can do more of these shows, and we can give you guys more trading advice. Well, not real trading advice, but more trading information. Now, if you are watching this and you want to join the show, call in live. Call in on the WhatsApp number 1-646-732-4269, or go to Telegram at cryptobanter.com. We're available, and you can call in live and speak to Coach K. In the meantime, while Coach K is pulling up his charting software,
my stuff just
chat
froze.
Is going mad. Adrian, I'm going to bring you in while Coach K is looking for his charting software. What are you seeing on the social airwaves?
Well, we're seeing a lot. We're seeing, we're range bound with BTC as we've been discussing. So a lot of people are looking at YFI. There's a lot of talk. If you look at the social metrics, a lot of talk at YFI. People wish they would have gotten in when it touched 8,000 about 4 weeks ago. It run up to 22 is pretty flat. It's at 27 today. A lot of people are looking long-term at 100K. There's been talk of that, obviously, when it hit over 40K and came back down back in that DeFi run of September. But YFI, a lot of talk on YFI. You can see it everywhere.
YFI seems to be like the Bitcoin of DeFi, so to speak. I mean, it's almost crazy what's going on with YFI. And Andre seems to be like the golden boy. You simply can't call it wrong. Even when people thought that when he launched Keeper and launched all the other protocols, he came back and, he did a deal with Sushi. He did a deal with Cream. He did a deal with Pickle. So he is doing all the big things.
Absolutely. I mean, and if you even look at Twitter and you see what they've been doing, I mean, they merged with Pickle, Acropolis, Sushi, Cream, and Cover. Any of those have benefited from that YFI partnership. They really took this model of this open source DeFi and just ran with it. Those Yearn vaults, while the APYs are down, the performance is just there. It's a new system. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen before January 20th with that talk of the Brian Armstrong tweet last week as to what the Secretary Mnuchin is going to plan for these non-custodial wallets. A lot of people are calling tops ahead of that, and then we could see a bigger run thereafter.
Alrighty, I'm going to bring Coach K back. Coach K, is your charting software ready?
Yeah, I just Google was just hung and it wouldn't let me do anything. So I had to leave and come back.
All right, so guys, just a reminder that how this works is you tell us what you want us to chart, and you can do that by calling in, or our producer Adrian will drop the StreamYard link into the chat and then into the YouTube chat. And then you can click on that link and you can come in direct into the studio and you can tell Coach K which coin you want charted, and we can see whether the coins are going to go up and down. The first coin that I want charted is, of course, the monster that is Bitcoin.
The monster.
Coach K.
Yeah,
we're on a cliff, right?
Yeah, we're still on this cliff. I think it's really interesting. I was talking to one of my buddies who's run a hedge fund and has up to $4 billion at one point that he was trading for people. And I was telling him today, I'm like, man, Bitcoin is kind of in an awkward spot, right? And he said to me, In these times, if I'm not in a position, I'm not in a position. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And I was like, you're right. And he said, if you guys are feeling like you're going to miss something, remember that every single day that you're looking at a chart, there'll be another day. The market's not going anywhere. So don't put yourself in a position where you're just trading to trade. It's very volatile. If you're someone who, doesn't have funds to lose, this is a time where you may want to sit out or just look at spot positions for the longer term, because you could very easily get whipped out. We see the Chiku span here. It's looking like it wants to come into our candlesticks, which could be a bear sign. We're getting this Kijinsen right here. It's starting to hook up a little bit. So potentially we'd have a bearish TK cross, which could eventually bring us to the other side of this cloud right here. I'm looking at this as an area potentially as one, so around 15K that we come back to. And then as we talked about yesterday, in this area where I think we could dump to retest. I think we could dump to retest here. And I mean, it seems like it's a far way away, especially when we were here just 2 days ago. But it really does look like we're starting to see a little bit more bearish signs. At the same time, if we go to the daily chart here, we've gone up and down $1,000 every single day for the last 3 days. So that's it's quite a bit of volatility. It's great if you're a swing trader. Great if you're a swing trader. It's great if you're a scalper. If you're a swing trader, generally this kind of stuff is you're going to be in a trade and you're in a trade. If you're not, you're kind of waiting for either a confirmation where we break all-time high and then retest and go higher, or it's going to break down. We're going to lose this level right here at about 17.8, and we're going to close below it, and then we're going to start continuing down.
All right, so you're looking for a close around 17.8, and that would be confirmation for you that we're going towards the downside. Would you be confident enough to leverage a short trade at that position? I mean,
I would, because if we lose this level right here, we have a level number one. So we have 3 levels of confluence. We have number one, we're going to lose the level. Number two, we're going to lose a 21-day EMA. Number three, we're going to lose the Tenkin. So there are 3 levels of support we're losing at one time. It's a pretty confluent area for us to look at and go, okay, very likely if we lose this level and we close the candle, meaning if you see the blue on my candles, that would be the bottom, would be the close. So if our blue was down here, I would be more on the bearish side looking for a short down to 15K, and obviously holding that short if we did come down to this level a little bit earlier than suspected. Now, one thing I want to give you guys a little perspective on, we're not really losing this level yet. And because we're not losing this level, we've seen this happen before, like right here, we thought, oh, we might drop and come down. But I saw on a shorter time frame inverse head and shoulders, so that's why I have that arrow pointing up from the 4 hour. So I do look at different time frames to get a little bit of perspective. So just to give you an idea of what I see here, some people were saying, oh, I think we're going to lose and we're going to drop. And I was saying, well, it looks like we have an inverted head and shoulders, and we're probably going to come to this level, which was the first level I thought we would come to when we were way down here at 15, thought we'd get up to 16.5, which we did. And then we just kind of came down, retested this level a few times. We couldn't break below, and then we went higher. We're seeing similar things now here where it's trying to break below, but it can't. Well, not that it can't, but it has not done yet. And it's kind of holding on. Every time it drops 1,000, it goes back up 800. So it's really kind of holding this level pretty strong, which makes me feel like there's a very good opportunity here that we get faked out to the upside before we really do get down and fill this gap. So something that would not surprise me, and I'll call it now live on TV, is that by Friday this week, I could see us breaking all-time high, starting to push towards 22 around this level. Maybe we get a little bit higher, but I think we're going to come to this level right around here. We're going to get in there, and then we're going to have a really nice short opportunity because we're going to get there, and it's going to be the fake out. It's going to bring in retail as we break this all-time high. They're going to start wanting to get Bitcoin, and just as they get comfortable and we start going towards 22, 23, 24, we're going to get that breakdown, and we're going to fill this gap. So that's kind of what I'm.
If you fill the gap, you're taking us back to what, 17,000?
About 17, 16,925 or so. Obviously we could probably come to the level here at 16.3, 16.4. So these are areas that I'm watching. Now, obviously levels, this is no guarantee, guys. So, traders, we make predictions based off of the market, based off of our analysis. The only reason why I keep coming down to this level is because we have that 21-day EMA. If you saw when we dumped the first time, look where it held, the Tenkin and the 21-day EMA, once, twice, 3 times. So it's held that level. If you go back, we can go back all the way down here and we can see similar things. where it held the 21-day EMA. So it tried to break it, broke a little bit below it. But you see how when we get above it, generally we follow it. And when we get below it, we can't stay above it. It gets kind of a little bit wishy-washy down there. When we get really strong trends where this hooks back up like that, very likely we're going to see it higher. So we're still
confirmation there that we are in a bull market. And also, if I look at the graph correctly, it does look like we're coming to the end of a triangle. And that means that we do need to either move up or down. I mean, the pendulum has to swing up or down. And then, therefore, we can say that Bitcoin is actually really on a cliff now. I mean, in the next 2 to 3 days, either we're going to get the breakdown to below 17,000 or around 17,000, or we're going to smash the way up all the way to 23,000. Coach, where is this resistance coming from? Where is this? I mean, all retail investors are now in the money. Why can't we break this 20,000 with conviction?
Psychological. I mean, markets are 99% mental and 1% actually what you do and what you using your strategy and sticking to it. So, and a lot of people have been saying to me, well, oh my God, a lot of retail guys came in this week or last week and they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's going up and down $1,000. Just remember that in March, we basically hit like a low of $3,000, like 3,800. So from March to now, we've gone on an extensive bull run. Obviously we couldn't call it that till we were at about 11,900 was when I was saying I'll become a mega bull when we break this level. I told everybody that. We broke the level right here. I said I'm mega bullish, and we just followed up with like several green or in my case white candles all the way up, and then we had several weeks of just bullish movements over and over again. So watch this chart and tell me, are we really bearish? Even if we came down to here, will we bearish? No, we'd still be making another higher low. So for me, we really need to come down quite low for us to be out of the bull market. So we could
we have to go under 12,000 to be out of the bull market. Very small chance of that happening.
Below here where I think we're going to test. So I don't really think it's not a problem. And one thing that a lot of traders do, they look on too short of a time frame. Look at the high time frame. Go to the monthly. Tell me what looks bearish about this. Even this technically was a higher low. So if we came down and we came to 12K, we're still making a higher low on the monthly. It's not something you really need to stress out about right now. We need to wait till we have invalidation before we freak out. If you entered late, my advice to you is if you're in a leveraged position, make sure you're using your risk. 1% risk divided by your stop loss is how much money you should put in. Do not lose more than your risk. Like I'm telling you guys, you're going to lose 5 trades in a row. It's going to happen. It happens to every single good trader, no matter how you're good. There's times where when we're moving up, a few months ago, someone said to me, you never lose, because I post my trades, a lot of them publicly. And I said, I lose. There's times where I'm going to lose 5, 8 trades in a row. And they're like, what? That's never going to happen. I'm like, yes, it happens to me too. We're all human. Any of these traders that tell you they win all the time, they're lying to you and they won't show you their real trades. Guaranteed.
All right, guys. Speaking of trading, this is the show where we give you live real-time trading information. We cover live real-time trading information. And the only way we can do that is if you guys call in and you guys share your trading news and trading information. If you want to join us, www.cryptobanter.com for call-in details or telegram us at CryptoBanter. Right now, we're on the line with Coach K. And what we're doing is we're playing You Name the Coin, We Chart It. If you want a coin charted, if you want to know what the charts are talking about, let Coach K know and we'll chart it for you right now. Coach K, in the chats, we have another request, and the request is for Litecoin.
Litecoin. Okay, yeah. Litecoin is a really interesting one, and I follow it for different reasons than maybe you'd think. In general, Litecoin has in the past been the precursor to Bitcoin's movements. This time, it really wasn't. Usually, Litecoin starts a move, and then we see, okay, Litecoin's moving, and then Bitcoin starts to move. It wasn't really like that this time. Bitcoin kind of had a mind of its own, and their charts are almost identical. What we're looking at for Litecoin here, I see a really bullish move that happened when we dumped out here. We came down. We were nicely above the Kijin. This is the red line. So in Kijin, in Ichimoku Hinko Hayo, what this red line is think about it as a magnet, okay? When you get too far away from it, it wants to pull it back, whether it's to the bullish or the bearish side. So if we're getting way above it right here, it generally pulls it back. Now, because we tested it 3 times and it couldn't break below, that bounced. So this is a Kijin bounce. What we're looking for in a Kijin bounce, we have a bullish Kumo twist. We have a Chiku span that's above the candles, which is bullish. We have a Tenkin above this Kijin, which is bullish. So we have all these bullish factors, and then we bounced off and we started on a move up. So right now, if it closed here and holds this level, we're looking at going towards that $100 level. So that's where Litecoin will be going next, in my opinion, unless Bitcoin really does have a down move, which I'm not expecting to happen yet. Yeah.
Coach K, I have to ask you a question. Why is it that Litecoin preempts Bitcoin? What is it? Litecoin has been quite a regular, reliable indicator of what the Bitcoin price is going to do. What is it? Is it that it's just cheaper on a unit cost basis? Is that what it is?
Think about it as a faster Bitcoin Charlie Lee created, and it almost looks and acts like a test net for Bitcoin, because it basically was created off of Bitcoin, one of the forks, right? Charlie Lee changed some things to make it a little bit faster, and so it seems like they try new things on it first, and then Bitcoin can do or try to do similar things. Hence, Mimblewimble, right? The add Mimblewimble. You know, there's a lot of people that say, yes, it's good. There's people that say it's not so great. I'm personally not a techie, so I don't really care. I trade the charts, and that's really what matters to me the most. You know, I try not to attach too much emotion to charts, because if I like a coin too much, then I start caring about it and I stop looking at what actually is going on the chart. So it's something
spoken like a true trader. All you care about is to remove the emotions, follow the charts. In fact, one of the best ways to lose money in trading is to let your emotions get in. And, you know, I read a book which is called What I Learned Losing $1 Million. And it really was one of the best books that I ever read, because it taught me how to deal with taking losses. And the other lesson that it taught me was that sometimes we make a mistake with our next trade because of how we are feeling about our previous trade.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And
called
that's
revenge
a big
trading.
Mistake that traders make, right?
Yeah, it's just revenge trading, right? You make a trade, you feel good about it, it doesn't go your way, and you're like, all right, now I'm going to make it up. It's like gambling, you know. You see people in the casino, they put in $20 as their normal hand, they lose it, then they put in $40, then they put in $100 because they want to make up their losses, and it ends up making you lose all your money so much faster. It's very similar in trading. You kind of have to say, okay, this is my risk, 1%, and every trade I go in is 1%. Don't add 2% or 3% or 4%, or don't make like, okay, I'm going to go 5x leverage and make your 1% 5% and then lose all that, because that's generally what happens. Because when you're upset, another really good piece of advice for you guys. One, if you fought with your wife, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, don't go and trade right away. Go on a run or something. Get your mind clear. If you're feeling like sad or emotional, or you just are upset, or if anything bothers you about your life, just take a little bit of time away. And if you've made a mistake and you're feeling like, you know, F-bomb, I screwed up, I can't believe myself. And I have this happen too. We're all human. You know, those are the times where you kind of like go, okay, I'm going to go spend some time with kids. I'm going to go enjoy my life a little bit. I think it's really important for all of us to do that and take a step away. And, you know, there's a lot of people that won't tell you these things. Like, I preach risk management to everyone I talk to. And people have asked me, like, why do you care so much? I'm like, because no one talks about this stuff. They just tell you go in and it's great and you're going to make all this money. They don't tell you about the potential of loss. So it's good to keep you on an even keel. You don't want to be too high. You don't want to be too low. So try to keep yourself in that midpoint. And some people will laugh at you, but meditation can actually help. I don't do it enough, but it really can help sometimes to clear your mind of all the negative thoughts before you look at a chart.
You know, I must tell you, I've been trading gold, and I must say I hate trading gold, because every time I trade gold, I get caught up. And today is no different. And I'll tell you why. 3 days ago, gold was at about 1780, 1790.
Yeah.
And I'd sold all my gold before that. And at 1811, I got in. And at 1830, I got in this morning, and it went back to 1820, and I sold because my stop loss hit. And now, as you can see on the screen, it's back at 1828. So my stop loss got me too quickly, and I'm out of the game again.
Do you write a journal of like, why did you go in that trade?
I don't need a journal. My wife reminds me. If whenever I have a bad trade, my wife reminds me.
I can pull up gold because I also chart gold. I'm not only a crypto trader, so We can pull up gold on my chart. I'll show you what I've been looking at the whole way down. I mean, so if you've been watching videos of mine on YouTube, you guys can go and subscribe, and you should subscribe to this channel while you're at it. I was talking about, okay, we hit all-time high, and then we have like this perpetual lower highs going on all the way down, and then we broke above and we faked out and we came lower. But the whole time I was looking at this level, when we were way up here, I was like, we're holding this level and we were going to break this level. We're going to come down to this one. And if you're looking at a really high time frame, not trying to make quick trades, this was kind of obvious. This was going to continue down. Now, the one thing that would have faked you out right here was this. This would have been an easy fake out because there's not really a clear level right there. I mean, you don't really have a clear level. Maybe you could say, actually, this would have been where I would have looked at right there. So you have this level we bounced off of, and then we have a very clear 3 inside up, right? It's actually not an inside candle, but you have this massive bullish engulfing covering the mother candle. So I would have looked at that and said, maybe we're going to break above this. Maybe we're going to use this as resistance and come down. I still think we'll come and retest this level right here on the 200-day EMA. So there's a good likelihood of us seeing a fake out down, and then we start to go back towards the next level up.
So you think in general, gold is still tracking on a bullish chart? I mean, are we still in a bullish trend?
No,
it looks from your graph that we're starting to hit lower lows.
Yes, we are. I mean, 1, 2, 3. So it was holding this level. I was talking about this way back in July and August, like, man, it keeps holding this level. It cannot break below this level. And I said, when it breaks this level, it's going to break down. And this is what I was talking about right here. It's going to break down and go all the way down to 1862. It came all the way back down. And obviously, because we sliced this level, like I keep talking about, I keep saying, hey guys, when we slice the level, we go and retest it. Well, we sliced this level. Finally, we broke below it. We came up, retested it, faked out, and came back down. We came and retested it again, made a tweezer top or bearish engulfing candle, and we came back down, and we kept testing this level. And so we were kind of in this range for like a few weeks. Then it kind of popped up. Everyone was getting bullish, and then that Kumo top acted as resistance, and we started to come back down. This is a huge candle, by the way. It's almost as huge as this one. And it's not indicative of gold. I mean, if you've been trading gold for a long period of time, you can go on the gold chart and see how stable it was for so long. Other than this little area right here in March, it really wasn't moving in huge candles like we have over here and here. So it's almost like Bitcoin came in and started taking its thunder a little bit, because Bitcoin was starting to be really bullish in November and gold started to drop. And Peter Schiff is sitting there chirping and with crickets chirping, going, oh yeah, gold is still better than Bitcoin. And then all the funds are going, oh yeah, well, CFDs, we're going to trade those up for Bitcoin. and he still believes it, you know?
Okay, I have to ask you a question. So I have a little bit of a long position. I'm leveraged long on gold. My entry point was about 1825. It's currently trading at about 1825. Yep. I'm leveraged about 100x. Should I be holding my position, or would you cut it now? Just give me a straight answer. Don't give me it may go up or it may come down. I need to know. No. I'm sitting here, I'm sweating.
If you're sweating, you probably should close that position, so you shouldn't have, you're emotional already and you should get out. That would be my first piece
No, I'm
of advice.
sweating because the air conditioner is not on, but I'm going to switch.
Okay, so turn on your air conditioner first. But
good.
I would say, like, I wouldn't be worried. I would stop out, around 8. If I would close the candle below this level, then I would say, okay, get out of this trade, because at that point you're not using emotion. You're just saying, okay, well, this is a level. It's breaking above. It's likely to come test and go a little bit higher. So yeah,
what is that level on the graph?
This is about 1817, 1818, around 1818. So if it dropped down a little bit, came and tested this 1818 level and didn't break below and close below, so it didn't close down here, I'd be okay with that trade. I'd still be comfortable with it. Even with 100x, you probably have your risk management all built in. And so you're good. I've seen like 4 people say they really want to hear about XRP. So I'll throw this chart up.
So hold on, before we go into XRP, I just want to remind our viewers that you're watching CryptoBanter.com. This is the channel where we bring you live trading information. Everything you hear on the station is designed to bring you money and to make you more money. We're not about soft, fluffy stories. All we do here is give you stories that allow you to trade. Right now, we're playing a game. The game is called You Name the Coin, We Chart It. We're on live with Coach K. We want to help you guys make money, so we want you to tell us what to chart, and we'll chart it for you. Coach K, the big requests are, of course,
XRP. I just want to point something out here, okay? Look at this volume. This is the XRP.
That's the XRP army.
Yeah. Okay. So here's this volume over here, and now we're looking at the volume just the other day, and we're almost at the same level of volume where we pumped from like 20-something cents up to $3. So just keep that in perspective. Now let's go back here and look at what we have. So the only thing that would concern me right now with XRP is the volume started to drop off significantly back down to these levels. Does that mean we have to worry? Not really. But if we lose this level that we broke above, retested, and then we broke really below, we have another Kijun bounce here, right?
What is that level that you're looking at there? The writing is very small.
It's
a lot of our viewers are also on audio. So so right now XRP is trading at 61 cents. What is the level that you're looking to break down?
It's looking like it almost is below that level, and it actually closed below the 61.3, 61.6 level, and now it's retesting it on the negative side. That doesn't mean that we have to get bearish. Like, again, we have a bullish Kumo, we have a bullish Chiku, we have a bullish TK cross, we had a Kijun bounce trade. This is a good area to enter at 50 cents again on that dump the other day, and then the second dump the next day was another great entry point. So I'm not bearish on XRP, not yet anyways. We could potentially see this turn into a flag. So let me just draw this in, and I'll tell you what to look for in terms of it breaking out. If we were breaking out around, if we got to the weekly,
there's definitely a flag forming there, right? I mean,
there's a flag forming here.
We're at a point where it's either going to break down or break up.
Yes.
My guess is it breaks up because anyone holding XRP before that or on the 12th of December is going to get that airdrop of the Flare Spark tokens, right?
Hence, when you see what I have right here? This was before. You guys could have seen this before I even started talking about XRP. This is the trade I'm seeing, and we have a 5R trade. So if you don't know what R ratio means, it means whatever you risk. If you risk $100, if you always want to make $300 as a profit minimum on a good trade, right? That means if you trade it like a 50% hit rate, you're still making money every month because you're hitting 3 times as much as you lose. Even if you hit 40% of your trades in a month, you'll still make profit as long as you're doing 3R minimum. So it's a 5R trade potentially, and on the lower end, it's still a 2.5R trade, not as good, but still good. I think that if we do break out of this level, that's why I have my level around, if we hit around 60, I think we can bring this down around 67.5 cents. If we break out of that level, we're likely to see first 91 and then second about $1.15. I could see that happening for that airdrop. We still have about 10 days or so. So keep your eyes out for that because XRP army is strong. We all know that. Those guys have bigger muscles than Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was pumping Iron Man. So,
I mean, they have bigger muscles and they've got bigger BALLS. I mean, you're talking about buying XRP at this level. But I mean, again, I think momentum can carry us through it. I must say, this, regardless of what our thoughts are around the fundamentals of any project, I think the momentum of the Flare token drop may actually carry XRP. And we are trying to get Hugo from Flare onto our show. Hopefully he'll come on before the 12th. And tell us why people should be excited about getting their Flare tokens. Alrighty, let's go on to the next coin.
Yeah, the next
coin that people are asking for is Algorand.
Algorand. Okay, haven't looked at that one in a while. So let me just take a quick look. Are they looking for USDT or are we looking for BTC?
Yeah,
right now.
Let's look at the Algorand USDT. I guess that's the best value of it. While you're pulling up the chart, again, I want to remind our viewers of 2 things. The first thing is hit the like button and hit the subscribe button now, because if you do hit the like button and you do hit the subscribe button, it does get the algorithm to circulate more of this content. And the more of this content we can circulate, the more we can bring you live real-time content. Another thing is if you want more live trading information, I encourage you guys to call into our show, share your tips with us. Let's banter. Let's talk crypto. Let's talk about your portfolio. If you've got coins in your portfolio, let's have a look at them. I also want to remind you guys one other thing. We're also playing a game called How Should You Invest $1,000 in Crypto? And we're going to be asking all our guests to give us their calls. We're going to be plotting them onto our website. And then you guys can follow and see which of the guests made the biggest calls. Coach K, I am going to ask you about your 5 biggest coins.
Okay with that. I got some ones that you probably not even been researching or heard about, but that's why I love doing that.
That's what we love on the show. We love guests that bring us new coins, new things to look at. All right, Coach K, Algorand, the smart contract platform built by Silvio Micali. What does it look like?
Yeah. All right, so let's just look in a shorter time frame here. On daily chart, like on daily time frame, but look at what's happening with this project. Okay, so we do have a few things that have happened recently. Number one, we have the Chiku span just recently went bullish. We had a bullish Kumo breakout, and we're right now on a retest. And the retest is not only on the Kumo top, it's also at the 21-day EMA. The only thing I don't like about this chart is that we can see from all the way back here, when we broke up and we came below it, this is acting as a really strong level of resistance, which is our Kijin. And then we have the Tenkin above it. So we have these two levels, which are very strong resistance, even though we have a potential good trade. And we have a bullish Kumo twist. I don't really like trading with the Tenkin and the Kijin being a very tight level of resistance. But what I would like to see would be something where we bounce up of here and then we test and we go higher. I would like to see something like that. So I would be patient with algo here at this level, because with Bitcoin being so volatile, it's very likely that it would come up and Bitcoin moves either up or to the downside, and it comes back and breaks below the cloud to this level down here. So that's what I would be cautious of. It does look like a good chart at this point, but the confluence factors are not there for me to enter. We also have another level as the 100-day EMA holding it down as well. So we have quite a few levels that are pushing this down in terms of resistance. So I would say just be patient on that one. There's nothing wrong with waiting for this to break above those levels, those 3, 1, 2, 3, right in here that are clustered. When we break above that, that'll be more bullish for me when we retest.
All right, you've got Jay Alicia. It says, hey, Coach, show us your trading view indicators.
Absolutely. So right here, I very seldomly actually use anything but. So this is my friend Ali. She made this Ichimoku indicator, and this is on the double time frame. Actually, this looks better on the Ichimoku on the crypto side. Still, we have those 3 levels.
You keep talking about Ichimoku, and for some of our guests don't know what Ichimoku is. Maybe just give us an idea about the theory behind it and the emotion that drives Ichimoku.
Of course. So a lot of people use EMAs. A lot of people use momentum indicators. A lot of people use multitudes of indicators. I try to keep it simple. I use pretty much just the Ichimoku and EMAs. Now, Ichimoku is basically it's called one glance equilibrium. It was created in Japan many, many years ago. It's been used in the traditional market. It's been used in crypto. And in crypto, we doubled the settings. So normally, crypto settings are a little bit different. They're 20, 60, 120, and 30. The reason why we changed them from the traditional settings is simply because it's trading 24/7, 365 days a year. There's no time when it's off, versus the traditional markets, they're opening and closing, so you don't have them open all the time. And so we doubled the settings just to try to mimic that. That's why you saw when I turned on the original versus the crypto, it looks very different, right? You can see that. That being said, I see a really good trade setup once we break into that level I was just talking about. So we call this an edge-to-edge trade. It's a macro shift in the market, okay? So a large shift. We're below the cloud right now. That's bearish, okay? So what are we looking for to see this turn into a very bullish chart? I'm looking right now for, we have the Tenkin, this green level above the Kijinsen, which is our magnet. Our price always goes toward that level. If we're far away from this level, like we were up here, eventually it will come down and we'll come to that level again. If we're too far above that level, just like we were here, it will pull it back down to the price. It does it constantly. If you turn on this indicator and you use it, whether it's the traditional or the crypto Ichimoku, you'll see that happen. That's why it's called one glance equilibrium. It uses EMAs. It uses different time frames, fast and slow EMA, a lot of different factors, and it almost works as well like RSI. For example, you can turn on RSI and see similar types of momentum in the charts as well with using the Ichimoku. So that's why I use it, because I find it really gives me a rule-based system. Whereas you guys heard me say, okay, this is bullish. Okay, this is bullish. So we're below the cloud, but we have a bullish Chiku span. We have a bullish Kumo twist. We don't here, but we have a bullish TK cross, and we might cross into the cloud. And generally how you trade this, one of my favorite trades, when we break these levels, if we get to here, you would set this level maybe a little bit below or your entry right down here, and you're looking to go to the top of the cloud. So this would be a 3.7 HR trade.
Alrighty, so Coach, we have a caller on the line. His name is Mr. Neil. Mr. Neil, you've now looked at the Algorand chart. What do you want to know?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Good to be on the show, Coach K. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a amateur trader. I climbed in mid 2017, and I've basically been hodling. When it crashed, I kind of just sat back when it went down in 2017, and I'm keen to get back I'm keen to start being a little bit more active and start trading a little bit more. So I thought I could perhaps run through my very modest portfolio with you, and you can maybe give me a little bit of advice how to be more active with this rather than.
All right, tell us what's in your portfolio.
What's in your portfolio? Yeah, let's find that out.
Okay, I'm going to go from the top down. So I've got a healthy ETH investment, quite a bit of Bitcoin, and then I've got smaller investments in Litecoin, Ripple, Stellar, and then BSV just popped into my profile at some point. I don't know what that was. That was probably some split.
The fork.
Yeah, very, very small. So yeah, it's Ethernet, Bitcoin, the primaries, and then a little bit of a spread between Litecoin, Ripple, and Stellar.
Those are good hodls. Those are all majors. I mean, BSV, anyone that really is I guess an OG or someone who truly believes in Bitcoin knows that, there's a big liar behind that whole entire thing named Craig Wright. I really personally don't have anything against him. I just think that,
Coach,
I don't really
I know you don't have anything against him, but I mean, is there any fundamental reason to hold BSV? I mean, do you think that BSV? No.
Are any of you got to ask yourself questions, because some people always tell me, well, this coin is bigger than Bitcoin or would be bigger. And I always say, who is investing in those coins? I'm like, all the big hedge funds, I'm sure governments around the world are starting to probably get a little bit of a position in Bitcoin. They see it as the real one. So who is the real, what is the real Bitcoin? Well, clearly it's not Craig Stephen Wright, right? It's definitely the real true Bitcoin, the one that's proven itself over time, and the one that doesn't have a fearless leader because it's supposed to be decentralized, right? And I would tell you that Bitcoin is the truth.
I must say, I can't see a fundamental case for holding BSV. I'd probably drop that out of the portfolio.
But they have bigger blocks. Bigger blocks. Bigger is better.
Neil, we are taking
that. Come on,
Neil. We're taking BSV out of your portfolio. Dump the BSV. What else are you holding? Let's go through the list again.
Okay, I think they're all pretty stable. I mean, I've got ETH, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and Stellar. Should I get rid of the Stellar?
It's really doing well lately, and I mean, Ripple and Stellar, they're probably both going to do well. Hyperledger's used a lot and around, and really crypto is all about the community. And I think Stellar's got a very good chance with the connections that they have to do well. Like, I would say most of the majors, if you're in them now, don't get rid of them now. I think they're all going to go with Bitcoin when the bull run really starts. And I still don't think that's going to happen until probably February, March, April next year. We're not in a bull run like bull run. We're not in 2017. Everything's going like crazy bull run yet.
Retail is not here yet. Retail, my friends.
Smart money.
Yeah, my friends that were trading in 2017, they're not in yet. They were badly burnt in 2017. They haven't come back. Just interestingly enough, Neil, you talk about you have XRP and you have Stellar Lumens in your portfolio now. Jed McCaleb, who's the founder of the protocol of the Stellar protocol, was actually one of the founders of the XRP protocol. That's quite interesting. So the technology is very strong. Who
perpetually dumps every single month that he gets his tokens until he doesn't have them anymore.
Neil, another thing is you probably want to watch the XRP price round about the 12th or leading up to the 12th, or maybe just after the 12th, because there's that airdrop. First of all, you need to be somewhere that supports the airdrop so that you can get your Flare tokens. Second of all, I would make sure that if you are trading, it may not be a bad idea to lighten your position if XRP goes for a run, because you may see people running for the wall. So we've told you what to get out of your portfolio. And the question is now, what do you put into your portfolio? Coach, what would you add that portfolio with the money from the sale of the BSV and the money from the sale of some of the XRP, because Neil's going to make a lot of profit on XRP. What would you add to the portfolio?
If you want something that's a long-term hold that no one's really talking about yet that much, that has partnerships with Rakuten, partnerships with Tencent, and partnerships with Vi. I can't remember the name of the company for TripAdvisor. You're looking at a company that's about to do 500,000 transactions a day and will likely
don't tell us what the protocol is. I want to know what this protocol is. If you want to know what this protocol is, what we have to do is we have to smash the like button and smash the subscribe button. I'm watching the likes. I'm watching the subscribes. If you want to know what this amazing protocol is that Coach K is telling Mr. Neil to add to his portfolio, hit the like button now. Hit the subscribe button now. I want to watch those likes go up. Come on, guys. I'm watching.
Come, guys. I want to hear. I want to hear.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, Coach K, what is this amazing protocol that you say has amazing partnerships with a whole lot of big names out there?
Yes.
What is it?
Okay, I'll give you one more piece. It is also one of the blockchains on the BSN, the Chinese blockchain network. And you probably have never heard of it. I mean, you probably heard of the other several Ethereum and EOSs and stuff. So this project is called Sharing. Have you guys ever heard of this project before?
Are you shilling your bags here? I mean, are you holding a bag of Sharing?
Of course I'm holding a bag of Sharing, because didn't you just hear what I said?
All right, so where is Sharing? Where do we find Sharing? What does Sharing do? I must say, I've never heard of Sharing.
Yes. Okay. So Sharing is a sharing economy, but not only that, these guys have partnerships all around the world. You know, there was Travala and the whole, like, they have APIs into booking.com. That's their partnership. These guys have real partnerships. They have a COVID app. They have, I live in Thailand. They have connections to the Thai insurance companies. Visa on arrival in Thailand for China and India will all be done on your phone via the blockchain. So basically you want to fill out those cards, that'll be done on your phone. There's several different factors to why I'm very bullish. And I also know Tim Boss, the CEO. I've known him since bear market, like, you know, bear market. We went out to eat at a French restaurant. He showed me, hey man, this is like our first MVP of this app. It's really looking awesome. I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, this is so cool. He's like, look, I'll go book stuff online. I'll go book a dinner. I'll go book a flight. I'll go book a hotel. I'll go book an activity. I was like, that's really cool. What else do you guys do? And then with COVID, when COVID happened, they created a COVID app, which means that, you know, a lot of the time we're scanning QR codes everywhere we go, and who's taking that information, right? This is all going to be stored on your own phone, and you can share that with the government when they ask you to share it, and it's your information. So they can see that you've been doing whatever you've done when you share it, but then it's your own, and you can keep your medical details on there. If you travel around the world, they've been talking to several of the airports, so that when everything starts up, and actually
Coach, yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm looking on CoinGecko. I can't even find this token. I mean,
SHR. Sharing.
SHR.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's on Altcoin right now. Bitcoin Global. It's on Uniswap. And they have so many more things coming. And I'm really bullish on these guys, because what their plan is with the COVID app, they've already started in Macau and in Hong Kong. They're using it already. And they've done, I think they said they did like 18 million transactions already just with that alone. That's not including all the hotels and all the other stuff. So,
alrighty, so Coach K is telling you
at the top. I'm not telling you to top buy. It is literally at the bottom of the chart for the last, few months. I'm not telling people to buy it for right now. It said it's a hold. This is a project that has so much upward trajectory because of all the things they've stacked up. And I think in like a year from now, this will be a project where people are like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I got into that. And I've got a lot.
Sharing is one token. You seem pretty bullish on sharing.
Very bullish.
Neil's got a little bit more money. He's got a little bit more money. He doesn't have a lot of money. What else should he be buying? I'm going to let you give him one, and then I'm going to give him one. Come on, Coach K.
I'm very bullish on DOT and RSR. Those are two that you also may want to have. RSR, reserve rights. You know, you're gonna see this on Coinbase probably in the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Once their mainnet comes out. They're used already in Latin America. They are solving the unbanked problem. My friends in Argentina told me they put cash underneath their mattress. There's no banking really they want to use. I was like, yo, you could use RSR. It's on your phone. It's secure on a blockchain. And some of these people in Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil's next, I believe, will be using RSR. So it's useful for something more so than just saying they're doing it and they're going to bank the unbanked. They're actually doing it already. And also when you got people like Peter Thiel behind you, who obviously created PayPal as one of your main advisors, you look at who is involved and then you invest based off of who is involved, not only what they're doing. And so I think there's a really good potential to do really well. And then DOT is like the new ETH, right? Everyone's investing in ICOs. If it's DOT-based technology, they're doing really well. It still has to prove itself, obviously, but I think that this, with the parachains and with being able to go cross-chain, it has a lot of potential to do really, really well. Whether it will, that's still a little bit unknown for sure, but they have great staking where you can make money by just locking it up as well. So these are the things that I'm looking at. These are the things I've done my research into. These are the things that I'm putting in my long-term holds, not stuff that I'm just like trading actively, but RSR as a trade actively probably was one of my most successful trades on a daily, on a month-to-month swing for probably the last 5 months. It's been amazing. So,
Coach, what about Cardano? Yesterday we had Charles Hoskinson on our show. He paints a good picture. The market cap of Cardano is $2 or $3 billion. I mean, that may have some upside, right?
Oh yeah, I think Cardano will go push itself towards $1. It still has to get those smart contracts that Charles was talking about. So you want to get in, wait for a retracement a little bit, and then that would be a good one to hold. But again, it hasn't proven it can do these things yet. When it does, I think he said tomorrow it comes out. That would be something you should be watching for when they release all these new smart contracts on chain, all the new ways that they said they're going to be able to do it. They do have extremely bright minds behind them. So I would definitely agree with you there with Cardano. It really looks like a potential project if, and we see Hoskinson, he's just so passionate. Every time I've met him, he's like so passionate about his project. He cannot stop talking about it. He loves it. And those are the types of projects where you have a good chance of doing really well. And I say that you never really want more than 10 coins to hold. So you got to be really selective. So that's the only other thing I would say. Because you don't want to get stuck holding everything and then we go to another bear market and everything drops off. So kind of have a good plan for these things and, keep your eyes on them still, but know that you're not going to be selling them and buying them every week.
All right, Neil, we are running out of time, but I want to give you one more. So if you want some exposure to DeFi, decentralized finance, I think there may be an interesting one. And I am a bag holder of this. The token is called Pickle. It's a decentralized finance protocol. Now, the catch here is that Pickle was trading at about $25 to $30 range, and then they got hacked, and they lost $20 million worth of funds, and the token is now trading at about $11. I think that the token may have been hit too hard, and if it has been hit too hard, there may be some upside here. Happy with that, Neil? Are you going to read your portfolio?
Happy. Yes, thanks so much. And I'm going to take my mother's Christmas money that I was going to spend on a present, and I'm going to hopefully
don't do that
for her for next year.
Awesome.
That might be a good idea, honestly.
So, guys, what I want to do is I want to bring in our next guest. Our next guest is Didi, and Didi is effectively.
Are you in Thailand?
No. Hi, Joel, man. Hi, guys. I'm in Portugal.
All right, Didi, it's such an honor to have you on our show. You are really the epitome of what I call the new American dream, because the old American dream is so broken that I think it's time for a new American dream.
All the American dream is still Peter Schiff's dream. He's still dreaming about like
He's still
old
dreaming
metal,
about-
all that shit.
Well, you know, that's exactly
Welcome to
it.
the new world, man.
That's exactly it. You know, if you look at the old American dream, the old American dream said that, you know, you could come to America from wherever you were in the world, no matter who you were, and you could build it and you could make money. And then what happened with America is that they created the SEC, and they created this regulator, and they created that regulator, and they created the Fed. And now what you've got in America is effectively
Huge
you've got
prisons.
you've got a prison.
Huge prisons, exactly.
Everything you do is under surveillance. There's law enforcement for everything. Every law is over enforced. If you, God forbid, want to start a business, you better have this permit and that permit and this general counsel. And effectively, it's become impossible to make money like that. In fact, it's become impossible to operate there.
Yeah.
But I think you're the epitome of the new American dream. And before we introduce you, what I want to do is I want to show our viewers a video that for me is the American dream of our
This family
generation.
is living on a campsite in the Netherlands because they're big believers in Bitcoin. Here's what's going on. Diddy, his wife, 3 kids, and their cat sold literally everything they owned. Their house, bikes, furniture, cars, clothes, toys, even their shoes. They traded it all in for Bitcoin, and now they're waiting for the cryptocurrency to really take off. It's only been a few months, but they say they don't regret a thing.
We just sell it. What can we lose? We can lose all the material stuff. Yeah, we can lose all our money. We don't have 3 cars anymore. We don't have the motorcycle anymore. But at the end, I think we as a family will still be happy and just enjoying life. And if we have to start over, we will start over again.
The family is making their little experiment public. They're documenting their journey on social media, and they're even taking donations in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has already seen a pretty huge rally this year. It surged past $5,000 a coin, but Diddy thinks it could be 4 times that by 2020. So he's living the minimalist lifestyle and biding his time till that big payday.
Money has to evolve.
All righty.
Hey,
Diddy.
did you hear it? I said in 2017, when it was 5K, in 2020, Bitcoin will be 20K. We are almost at 20K. I was right. Bam!
We'll give it to you. We were off by like $100 the other day.
You were indeed right, man. You were indeed right. Diddy, how's it going? I mean, that video was made in about 2017. That's when you sold everything and entered the new American or worldwide dream of people that put all their money into cryptocurrency. Lived a very minimalist lifestyle. Tell us a little bit more about the backstory.
Oh man, the backstory is very long. You know, I just had the normal American dream life. You know, I lost my mother when I was 24 years old. I became a workaholic because I thought the American dream was true. I thought that was true what they taught me in school. You know, accumulating wealth and you achieve the highest goal of happiness. Just buy, bigger house, more cars, more motorbikes. You know, and then in 2014, my father got cancer. He had 1 more year to live. I was a very rich person at that point, money-wise. I couldn't save him from cancer. You know, I couldn't save him. So for me, the American dream for me was very clear. That was like the biggest multi-level marketing scheme we have ever learned in our lives on schools. We get brainwashed that we need to achieve happiness by accumulating wealth. Bam! Let me wake you up. That is not the end goal of life. Accumulating happiness is the end goal of life. And yes, Bitcoin can be a little bit nice, you know, to spend here and there, but it's not the end goal. So at that point, you know, I lost my father. I started traveling the world for a few months with my family, and I realized I had never been so happy. I was traveling with my kids, 3 daughters, and a wife on the beach, 3 backpacks, no iPads, no iPhones, no laptops, no nothing. And I was happy. I really felt happy. So I told my wife, you know what? We are so happy. Let's continue this lifestyle. Let's sell everything we have. Let's sell our companies, our houses, our cars, and just, you know, travel all our life as digital nomad families. And let's do this decentralized lifestyle where we use the sharing and the lending economy. You know, why own a house if I can rent a house all over the world for cheap prices? Airbnb, all those stuff. And then we decided to do that. And then I told her, okay, and now the next step is we go all into Bitcoin.
That must have been the best decision that you guys ever made. I mean, going all in on Bitcoin must have given you guys, it must have been quite scary at the time, but you had the conviction, you went all in on Bitcoin, and today I think you're reaping the benefits, right?
It wasn't scary at that time. We didn't change life. I ran into a huge burnout because of running a hamster wheel. And I needed to change life. So for me, it was like, even if we lose, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm happy on the beach. We didn't lose, of course. We invested on time, and we had the first bull run, and we had the first crash as well. And it has been one huge adventure in the last 4 years. We are still traveling the world at the moment in Lagos and Portugal. I'm still all in Bitcoin. We still don't own bank accounts. We have a few, of course, crypto debit cards. We just move on if we don't like it. And if they want to force me wearing a face mask, I say, fuck you, I'm gone. I'm going to the next country. That is,
now,
this is the future. The future is
do you trade Bitcoin?
Yeah,
do
of course.
Do you trade Bitcoin or do you hodl Bitcoin?
I hodl and I trade. I even have an own Didi Bam Bam indicator.
And how does that Didi Bam Bam indicator work?
Very easy. It just tells you when to go long and when to short the market, and it's always right.
Oh.
Do you want me to share your screen?
He's like, how do I get that? He's like, how do I get that?
I will share the screen. If you allow me to share the screen, I will give you a small preview if that works here, because my internet in Portugal is not that good. Bam. Let's see if I can share this one over here. Do you see my screen?
Hold on. Let me add your screen to the chat. Here we go. Your screen has been added. Alrighty. This is so interesting.
Bam.
Didi has been...
Listen, I am doing this to... Sorry that I interrupted you. I have a lot of energy, so just blame me for too much talking. But I'm doing this together with the Margin Call team, and it's a great team with a lot of experience. This indicator, I've been testing it for the last 9 months before I came out with it, because I just don't want to be one of these scammers that is going to show a product without even believing it. I tested it and tested it and tested it again. I tried to beat the system. I thought it is not possible. This thing is like right every time. Look, long. This is the 15-minute chart. This is on BYBIT. Long, right, short, right, long, right, short, right. If I do this in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Amazon, gold, it doesn't matter. If I do it in the 15-minute chart or I do it in the 4-hour chart, it is all, the indicator is just really, really strong. The short, we took it. The long, we took it. To be honest, I didn't take it here. I took it after we went above this yellow stepping line, because this is part of the indicator. To play it safe, you go in here. You watch the blue line. Is the blue line crossing the red line? You will see the flag. Is the blue line crossing the white line? We will be above the yellow stepping line. We go long. And we go out the moment at the red flag or the short, or if this blue line is crossing the white line, so we go out at this yellow stepping line again.
So are these moving averages? Are you looking at moving averages there, or is that how you're getting your indicator? How are you getting this long-short indicator?
Oh man, it's a complete combination of all the history of the BLX, of the Bitcoin charts, with the calculation in it. Yes, with the moving averages. Yes, with the history. Yes, also with the market movement. Like you see this beautiful thing here on the bottom. I love this part. We have the green hills. These are the green hills when the bulls start to graze the grass on the hills and they are bullish. We go up. And then when we go to the beach or when we go into the sea, I am on the beach and on the sea. I'm living across the beach. I'm going to the beach. It's the bulls are not working here. That's it's just, I don't know how it works, because the technical team developed it for me, with me. To be very honest, I'm not the best trader. I only make profits because I use the Bam Bam indicator. And I'm still amazed.
Okay. So according to your Bam Bam indicator, we should be short now. I mean, your Bam Bam indicator says that you should have gone short at 19.
I think we went short. Yeah, 19,599. We went short.
When are you going to close that short? When are you going to close that short?
The moment I see this green flag appear, you see this one here. This one is going short. This red cloud is going to turn into a green cloud. This red cloud, when this one is turning into a green cloud on the 4-hour chart, please remember you're trading on a 4-hour chart, then I will close it. Not earlier. Alrighty.
Now, how long have you been using this indicator for?
I've been using it now for like a little bit over 4 months. And I need to be honest, I've been making profit. Yeah.
Okay, now is this indicator only on Bitcoin, or have you been doing the same indicator on Ethereum?
I think it works even better on Ethereum, because Ethereum is just a little bit more beautiful tradable on the charts, like you can see. This is Ethereum, here, long. This is a short over here. And then you can see why we work with a combination of 3 indicators, because this short we would never take, because we are high above this yellow stepping line. This blue line is still above the green line, and the bulls are still grassing in the hills. So we will never use this short. So we have a 138-page manual with it. We have 10 educational videos with it. How we interpret this indicator. We also have a Discord channel, where we educate people a little bit more. This short, this is a very clear short. This is a red flag, and the blue line is crossing this white line. You can also see that the white line is curling down, and we can see that we are going below with the yellow stepping line, and the red cloud started. That is a short we take. So there is a little some things that you need to know, but it works on. I will show you Tesla here for the normal traders. Tesla. I will just show you in Tesla even how beautiful this one works. This is the 4-hour chart still, short, the long, the short, the long.
So now you're saying it's time to be short Tesla. I must be honest, I also took a short position in Tesla just before the show. So it does seem to be quite intuitive. Didi, where can people get this indicator from? If people want to follow these calls, I mean, you say that it's been developed by you guys. What happens if people want to follow the indicator? Where can they go?
We have just a very simple website, didibam.com.
didibam.com.
I pronounce it like this, didibam.com.
Alrighty, and the indicator now says we should be short Bitcoin and short Ethereum, right?
It depends on which
which time frame. Yeah,
it really depends on which time frame, because to be honest, I am a 4-hour trader, because I don't have time to trade, because I create every day a YouTube video. Every morning at 6 I get up, I walk the beach and make YouTube videos. It takes me 6-7 hours. It's my passion to create entertainment. So I don't have time to look at the charts every 15 minutes, So for me, 4 hours or even a day chart works for me. Look, this is the BAM indicator on the day chart. I will show you Bitcoin. This is the BAM indicator on the day chart.
Let's just share your.
I did share it already, I think. Am I not sharing anymore? Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
So this is what do I have Ethereum now on the day chart. So I have in Ethereum already in the long since 398, and this was the 5th of November. So for me, Ethereum, it's still moving above this yellow stepping line. I'm not shorting. This one is where I stepped out. And of course, I shouldn't have stepped out, but this was my indicator. And I never follow my emotions anymore, because I'm a very bad trader when it comes to emotions. So I just listen to DDBAM, and when the short flag is here and I can see this candle closing below the yellow stepping line, I trade very safely. I trade with
should we be long Ethereum or short Ethereum now? As you look at it right now, should our viewers be long, should they be short, or should they be on the sidelines?
Okay, what I normally do then is, of course, I will take a look at this 4-hour chart. So I can see that there is a short on the 4-hour chart, but I can also see that the red cloud is narrowing. So then I take a look at for example, 1-hour chart. This 1-hour chart is also still on the short. This one is curling down. The green hills are going to the beach. I would probably now still be in a short, while on the 15 minutes we can see a long appearing, and we can see this one crossing. We still have a lot of beach and sea time, so I don't think the bulls will be performing really great. So I would be in a short, but I'm looking into a lot.
I just want to remind our viewers, if you are watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button now, hit the like button now. If you want to speak to Didi, we've got a few minutes. Just give us a call. You can call us at Crypto Banter on Telegram, or you can just go to the StreamYard link, which is at the bottom of the YouTube feed. You can call in now. You can speak to Didi. You can ask Didi your questions yourself. Didi, before the viewers get hold of you, I want to ask you, we're playing a game on the show. We're asking our guests to tell us how they would invest $1,000 in crypto for maximum returns. All we're looking for here is maximum returns. We're not looking at risk. Where would you put your money today? If you had $1,000 to invest, how would you break it up? The idea is to huddle, not to trade. How would you do that?
That would be a side of your hodl position, or is this like
would
somebody
be
that's
your-
just starting?
Someone that's just starting, it's your only position. Here we want to see how people would make a lot of money. So, I don't think this is a place to be boring. This is a place to give us a balanced portfolio with a lot of ideas. Where would you put your money?
At the moment, I'm an advisor for a couple of projects, so I would be shilling those projects, of course. And if there's one project that I really believe in, it is Paid Network. That's a new project created by Master Ventures, and also one huge asset company stepped into it that is also behind Coinbase and all those companies. So Paid Network for me is a really good, diamond.
I'm an advisor to Paid Network. Good one.
So you got two advisors to Paid Network. Full disclosure, these guys are both advisors. Where else would you put your money? I mean, surely you wouldn't put the full $1,000 into Paid Network.
I would at the moment, I think, invest in Polkadot. Yeah, I believe that Dot is going to change. To simplify it, that they will make it possible that multiple blockchains will communicate with each other. The top with that layer with Chainlink that is going to verify every data with the real world. I think Chainlink and Polkadot, that combination would be a really good bet at the moment. But yeah, I also wouldn't want to miss out this bull run. I do believe we will see a Bitcoin price of $50,000 to $100,000 next year, and I also know that when Bitcoin starts to run, Polkadot, Chainlink, any other crypto, they will lose. They will lose big time. You will lose your money. So if you want to play it safe now, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Golden Couple.
All right, Didi, before we let you go, where can our viewers get the indicator? We are running out of time. What is the website address? Where can they go to get the indicator?
It's very easy. You go to didibam.com.
Didibam.com?
Yeah, and then you only need to fill 3 fields: your name, your email address, and the person that referred you. Because the beautiful part of the Didi Bam Bam indicator is, and I will talk to you later about this as well, is that if you refer other people's, and you refer like 4 or 6 other people's, you get the Bam Bam indicator for free. So we have a whole module behind it, because my philosophy is that we need to educate each other and get everybody into crypto. I also create an own cryptocurrency that is called Family. Yes, you can invest in the Family token. It's exchanged on Uniswap. And I'm incentivizing everybody of the community that helps each other with Family. So every time somebody helps somebody else, I give them Family. And that's how I try to create one huge Bitcoin family all over the world that is there for the true fundamentals of Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies, and that we are going to change this whole monetary system for the reasons that it all started to become a peer-to-peer cash, and to keep all the power to the persons instead of all the centralized governments, banks, CBDCs, all that shit. That is why we're in this industry.
Didi, thank you so much. We're out of time. It's been a great pleasure having you guys. You can go to Didi's website, buy the Family token if you want to invest. Otherwise, Didi says that you should probably be looking at Polkadot, because Polkadot may have a huge run. Coach K, it's been a great pleasure having you on our show. We are going to get you back. We are going to get you charting the people's requests. But now it's time for us to move on to the next segment of the show. And boy, oh boy, have we got a treat for you guys. You may know Altcoin Psycho from Twitter, but this is a guy that hardly ever gets it wrong. He charts altcoins. He's an algorithmic trader. He wants to remain anonymous, but it's such a treat to have him on our show, to get him talking about his altcoin picks. I'm honored to have him on the show. Altcoin Psycho, it's amazing to have you on the show. Welcome to Banter. Altcoin Psycho, you there? I see.
Hey, Ren, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing, Altcoin Psycho?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic, man. Where in the world are you?
I'm on the West Coast.
Amazing. Alrighty, so we got you on the show. There's big expectations here. The guests want to know what altcoins are you currently following?
Sure. So we could dive right into the altcoins. So right now, I'm a big fan of the blue chips. I'm more bullish on altcoins than I am on Bitcoin right now. In fact, Rand, do you want to pull up the sushi chart? I sent you guys. We can
You
start
say
with that one.
you say you're more bullish on altcoins than you are on Bitcoin at the moment. Does that mean that you're expecting like another alt season? Is that where we're going now? Or are you saying that people are going to take some of the profits that they made on Bitcoin and then put them into alts, like we saw in 2017?
I think it's actually neither. I think the reason I like altcoins a little bit more right now is I think altcoins, just generally speaking, are a more spot driven rally right now, where with Bitcoin we're seeing a lot of liquidations at the top here, which leads me to believe that this is a leverage fueled rally, at least right now. I know there's a lot of spot buying pressure going on, and I think there's a really excellent long-term bull case for Bitcoin, but just watching the price action these last few days, I think in the short term altcoins are going to have a more sustainable rally. We could start with Sushi here, which you got pulled up. Sushi is one of my favorite charts right now. It's one of the blue chips, if you will, for DeFi. And just from a TA perspective, it looks like there's just a bunch of hot air above us, right? So if we can flip that level that I kind of drew out here around $3.20, I don't see any reason why this can't go straight to $7-8.
Holy moly! You're talking about a token that was trading at about 50 cents not so long ago, probably a month ago. Sushi Swap was trading at about 50 cents. And to be honest, when I looked at Sushi Swap, I kind of thought with Uniswap and after the whole saga that happened with the chief Sushi or whatever he called himself, I kind of looked at this and thought, is it time to dump all my Sushi tokens? And I guess it wasn't, because we're back up at $2 after the news that they merged with Yearn Finance. But you're saying this thing could go as high as $7?
I think so. One of my key philosophies when it comes to trading is to follow the whales, right? There's no reason to need to think that you're smarter than big money. And right now, when I think of the smartest people in the space, you've got Sam Alameda with FTX. He's super bullish on this project, and I'm not going to try and bet against people like him.
Okay, now how do you make the case for a Sushi Swap when you've got a Uniswap, which is pretty much exactly the same thing with bigger volume, bigger community? How do you make a case for investing in Sushi Swap?
I think it's just a matter of a rising tide will lift all boats. And I think
Amazing.
that Sushi got hit pretty hard because of what happened with Sushi Chef. But I think we're still kind of pricing that in a little bit here. So I still think Sushi's at quite a big of a discount.
Well, if I look at Sushi on my screen, Sushi's trading at $2.26. It's up 21.5% today. I mean, that's quite a move.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's had a nice rally here. I think it's just the beginning for DeFi, especially if we start to see Bitcoin consolidate a bit. I expect a decent amount of money to start flowing into altcoins.
I must say, you must have a very big community, because the chat's going crazy. We've got Asmita who says she's been waiting for Altcoin Psycho. You're cool, for real. You've got people going DeFi, DeFi, DeFi. You've got people saying Altcoin Psycho, do you have a girlfriend? You really have got a big following, and they have come onto the show. What else are you looking at? So you're looking at Sushi, because I guess what you're saying is it's not going to be an altcoin run. It's going to be an altcoin and DeFi run, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think if this really is going to be a bull run, I think DeFi is going to be one of the leading narratives of the incoming quote unquote alt season. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that our alt season, if we have another one, will look anything like 2017. I don't think you can just throw darts at a dartboard and expect to make a bunch of money. Back in 2017, a lot of people did not know what cryptocurrency was. All they knew is that there's this thing called crypto, and if you don't throw your entire net worth at it, you're an idiot, because it only goes up, right? And a lot of people quickly learned the hard way that this thing can come down just as quick as it can go up. So I think the next run is going to be fueled by a lot more substance. And I think that projects that they're actually bringing innovation will survive. I don't think it's going to be as easy to raise $1 billion with just a 10-page PDF white paper. With that said, we still see a lot of immaturity in the DeFi space. I do think there's a lot of money to be made there for the blue chip DeFis. So yeah, I'm super bullish on Sushi. I tweeted out the other day that right now, Sushi is one of my favorite picks.
What about YFI? I mean, I know that, YFI seems to be like the big mama or the big coin of the DeFi ecosystem. Are you bullish on YFI? One of our viewers here, David Elo, Andre Crenier with YFI, good for $32,000 to $42,000. Are you as bullish about YFI as David is?
I don't have a price target for YFI, but I can tell you that I would bet my reputation that it's gonna go higher than it is now. I think that YFI is a great pick as well. I think really anything, like I mentioned earlier, anything that smart people and big money are behind, right? Like Andre, you've got, again, Alameda, you don't want to bet against those people. So as long as they're bullish, I'm bullish too. And another project I love is Serum, because that's one of Alameda's darlings. So, I was a very early buyer into BNB. You could probably go dig it up on my Twitter somewhere. I got in super early to BNB when it first launched, just because of the concept of, like I said, swim with the whales. I like the idea of a Binance token, and so I made really great money off that, way back when too. So that's going to continue to be my investing philosophy for the upcoming alt run, is to just continue going behind projects that I know big money is going to follow.
Okay, so what is it? I mean, other than the people, what is it about Serum that you actually like? I mean, I've had a look at Serum. I think that the lockups that they got their initial investors in, and they got the investors into 6 or 7 year lockups, really makes a huge difference. Also, the usability on Serum is actually unbelievable. If you trade on the exchange, it is absolutely an incredible experience. On a DEX experience, you're getting a central exchange type usability. You're getting depth of order books. So I mean, this is a serious player. Really one to look out for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Alameda is a genius when it comes to product, and I know he's had a lot of input on the way they do the product. And I've heard really great things about the Solana blockchain as well. The SOL. And I'm by no means the biggest DeFi techie. There's a lot I don't understand. I'm really more of a trader than I am like a fundamental driven analyst. But from what I can gather, yeah, Serum is another really, really great one to bet on.
So I must ask you this question. So do you look at the fundamentals of a project, or are you just looking at the charts and going, if the chart makes sense, then I'm jumping in and I'll do the fundamental analysis or the fundamental research later?
To be honest, when it comes to crypto, especially with more immature markets, I pay a little bit less attention to fundamentals. I do think in this next run, fundamentals will be a bit more important, but I'm primarily a technical trader before I'm a fundamental trader. Now, that's not necessarily true when it comes to equities. I think fundamentals play a lot larger of a role in my decision making. But I think pretty much everyone listening can think of a coin that makes absolutely no sense, that's performing super well, that it probably shouldn't be. And inversely, you have tokens that people get so married to. I've done this myself too in the previous altcoin run. You have tokens that on paper are just amazing and they never get any sort of traction whatsoever. So I really like to just go off, market order flow and technical analysis until the market starts to mature a little bit.
And how do you identify which coins to start trading? I mean, if you've got like a watch list, how do you first get introduced? How is it that you first find a Serum or first find a Sushi? Do you look at sentiment? Do you look at Twitter talk? What's the first place you look at?
It's definitely Twitter. I'll shout out a few friends here. There's Crypto Messiah, Hisaka. There's some excellent people to follow that they're on top of DeFi. But just in general, the thing I love about Twitter is if you learn to just kind of filter out a lot of the noise, it can be an excellent place to gather, a watch list and fundamental research.
Well, that's actually our mission here at Crypto Banter. What we want to do is we want to bring the banter from crypto, Twitter, and Telegram right here to an audio-visual medium where you can listen to people all day long while you're running, while you're cycling, while you're working, and start getting up-to-the-minute news broadcasts. So you mentioned Crypto Messiah. Who else would you be following in the crypto space Who else is on your watch list?
Are we talking, generally speaking, DeFi, or what are we talking here?
Generally speaking, I mean, who are the guys that you're following? Who are the guys that you look for before looking at a coin, before starting to draw the charts and all that?
I'm gonna have a lot of people mad at me that I didn't mention them, but you know, lately I've been, a lot of people know I've been focused on options trading. I've had a really hot year when it comes to trading options, and there's a group of guys that I chat with frequently, Crypto Kaleo, AMD, Crypto Dime, and then Ace Hackerman, all some friends that I've been chatting with a lot when it comes to stock options. There's some other great ones out there too, but really I don't have like a go-to group chat. That's the beautiful thing with Twitter is, you know, I'll be in the DMs with the most random of people at times, and it can really evolve into cool friendships, and at the same time you have a great edge there. You learn about a lot of great projects. There's a lot of times where there will be a stock or a token brought to my attention that I'm unaware of, just through even someone I don't know DMing me saying, hey, check this out.
Alrighty, the chat's going wild, the lines are going wild. You sent us this Bitcoin chart. This is the Bitcoin chart that I've put up on the screen. What are you looking for in this Bitcoin chart? How should our viewers trade this?
Let me pull this up. Sure. So I think, and it's funny because we always give hindsight trading such a bad rap. I'm going to do that here. In hindsight, the monthly chart is so simple. And sometimes I really kick myself for not paying more attention to this one, because since 2018, we've just been making a series of higher lows. And, you know, it's just so funny to look back at that resistance that we had at 14,000. I think that if we're looking at this chart, you know, forget about the fact that Bitcoin's on this crazy run right now and that it's about to break all-time highs and all of this. If someone just showed me this chart, didn't tell me what it was called, didn't tell me the asset, didn't tell me the price, I would look at this and say, okay, well, there's a chance we could retest, you know, that breakout. And knowing that obviously it's a Bitcoin chart, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, because that means we would go all the way down to 14,000. But what I'm a huge fan of in bull runs is stink bids. And for people that aren't familiar with stink bids, it's basically lowballing bids in the order books, because the way that I've made my best trades in crypto are from lucky entries, much more so than lucky exits. So, you know, if people want to get in on a lucky entry, this would be it. You know, I'm not saying by any means we'll hit that, because it's more unlikely than not. But I think it's a great place to leave bids.
Are you saying to our viewers, take a bid at 14,000, or if I'm reading that level correctly, it's just under $14,000. Are you saying to our viewers, put your bid in at 14,000, forget about it? There may be a chance that we get one big red, scary red candle, maybe while you're asleep, while you're not looking, and you may pick up some Bitcoin at $14,000.
Yes, and that's usually how it is, right? With you know, a lot of these tokens is you'll get a flash crash a lot of times when you're sleeping. And yeah, I think that I wouldn't recommend doing that on leverage, but I think that's an excellent place to accumulate spot.
Now, if we look at this chart, are we is this a bullish chart? Are we saying that Bitcoin is going to zoom through the all-time highs, or are we saying that we're kind of at a top? Because it feels that there's a lot of resistance to breaking that $20,000 level.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resistance there. I think it's just going to depend on the buying behavior. To be honest, like I'm not the trader to come in and make, you know, these crystal ball predictions. I'm very much so a day-to-day, level-to-level trader. So, you know, today I could be bullish and tomorrow I could be bearish. It just kind of depends what I'm seeing. But I would like to see a lot more of a spot-driven purchasing behavior right now than I am seeing right now. I still feel like it's a lot of high leverage trading going on around these levels. And I think that could result in a lot of top end level liquidations. It could result in a lot of wicks. Personally, I'm not really trading this area right now. In fact, my trading bot that I've got, it's sidelined as well. until we see something a bit more decisive. So I would like to see oh, go ahead.
Sometimes the best trade is actually no trade at all, or not to trade at all. Let's look at the Ethereum chart that you sent me. I was quite intrigued by this Ethereum chart. What are you looking for in Ethereum? It looks like the chart's very bullish on this level. What are you looking at?
Definitely. So again, I preface this by saying it's a good old hindsight chart. That level that I kind of drew out there, it's amazing to see how respected it was. And when it wasn't respected, with the two blue oval circles I got, it led to very meaningful price action. So I do think that we will see $850. I do think we'll test that last local peak that we had back in April of 2018. I don't know when, but this is the first time, since October of 2018 that we've had a decisive break and a clean retest above that line that I drew out, that really significant line. So I am really bullish on Ethereum. I think especially with ETH 2.0, I think ETH will continue to lead a lot of the narrative of the quote unquote next alt season. So I think especially as people were kind of burned once from the 2017 altcoin run, it's funny to think about some of the tokens that did so well. You have like Dentacoin, it was like a currency for dentists. And I think that hit over $1 billion market cap. So it's just funny. I think a lot of those projects won't get the same attention that they did, in the next run. And I think a lot of that money will just go to more blue chip, safer bets like Ethereum. Projects that people know will be around for a long time.
There's a lot of talk in the comments around PsychoBot and how PsychoBot works. Just tell our viewers a little bit about what PsychoBot is and how it works.
Sure. So it's my trading bot that I spent a couple of years working on. It's essentially a momentum breakout algorithm. So it's designed to take multiple small losses and to always be positioned in a trade. And the point of that is it will catch the breakout every single time. So the bot has never missed a trade over 10%, just because of the fact that it is always positioned in a trade. The goal is capital preservation, so keep the losses small and then offset the small frequent losses by a really good win. And so, for example, the bot went long around, it was like $9,000 or $10,000, and it closed it out at, I think it was like 18,000 previously. So it does a great job at catching the longer moves. And when it's time for trending markets, I love using my bot as confluence. Now, I will say that when markets are choppy, my bot gets absolutely destroyed. I think it's meant for volatility. It loves volatility and it loves trending markets. I think there's a lot of other bots out there that are much better than mine when it comes to stagnant markets for low time frame scalping. But right now it's the #1 performing bot on Stacked. It's got around an 8x return so far in its lifetime. So when it does come to trending markets, I do like to use it for confluencing. Right now it's sidelined, but it is leaning bullish. So when it does re-enter a long signal, I'll be sure to tweet about it to everyone, and I plan on entering it myself.
So sideline means that the bot's saying that there's not enough momentum in any direction for us to start entering. And if I understand correctly, what your bot does, it takes a momentum, or where it thinks there's going to be momentum, it puts in a very small stop loss, so you can't lose a lot and you're conserving your capital, but it rides the momentum right up until the top. Is that more or less a fair description of what the bot's doing?
Somewhat, yeah. So it's based on the 12-hour. So it's really more of a swing trader. It looks at the higher time frame. What it does is it uses a double time trend confirmation. So it looks at a high time frame, but then it also drills into the lower time frame. And when it does have that double bullish confirmation, that's one of the factors that need to be present. Or double bearish confirmation, since the bot can go short too. But basically, you just have double time frame confirmation, and then it uses momentum breakouts to decide whether to take a position or not.
All right, now if our viewers want to sign up for the bot or follow the bot or trade or let the bot trade for them, how do they get involved? Where do they go? What do they do?
So they could check out the Twitter. It's in the description of my own Twitter. But if they want to go and search at the Psychobot, they can find the Twitter, and it's free. It's free to use for the first 30 days. There's no strings attached there. So anyone listening that wants to try it out, they're more than welcome to give it a shot.
Alrighty, and we've got a lot of viewers who are calling, asking for XRP. Is XRP one of the altcoins that you're looking at? Is it one of the altcoins that you're making calls on?
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of XRP. I think, I could see the appeal to it back in 2017, when we didn't know a lot about this, and we thought seriously that a lot of banks could be considering using, Ripple. I think there was a bull case back then. I don't think it has necessarily that bull case anymore. However, with that said, I think there's a different reason why I do think XRP will do well, and it's just because of the fact that you're gonna again have new players entering the space. They don't understand how token economics work, and so they look at the price of Bitcoin and they go, "Oh, that's too much." Then they look at the price of Ripple and they go, "Wow, that's super cheap." And they like they think to themselves, "Wow, imagine if Ripple hits the same price as Bitcoin, right?"
Unit cost bias. I think it's the craziest thing in the world. Very often people say to me, I can't afford a Bitcoin, should I buy an Ethereum? That's kind of like saying, I can't afford an Apple, should I buy mincemeat? I mean, it's just completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Psycho, we've got this thing going with all of our guests where we're asking, for someone who's coming into the space, and we're not looking for a conservative portfolio. We're looking for a portfolio of crypto. How should they spend their $1,000? How would you hodl $1,000 today if you were investing today?
I'd probably put half of it in Bitcoin, and I'd split half between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link. Like really your top three true crypto blue chips that they do have a fundamental use case as well. And then I probably put the other half in speculative DeFi, because if we're going aggressive, like you said, I'd put the other half in speculative DeFi assets, such as Sushi and YFI and Serum.
So let's actually break that down. Let's say 50% of it goes into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then you've got 50% left. You've got $500 or $5,000 left, depending on the size of the portfolio. Break it down for me. How much into YFI? How much into Serum? How much into Sushi?
I would probably just do an equal amount into all three, to be honest. Although just my hunch tells me that Sushi is going to have the best run up. But again, it's hard to say this early on. I think we've all seen really crazy things happen in DeFi that no one really expected. So I think, when there's uncertainty, the best thing is to just stay as neutral as you can. So in that case, I would just split it equally.
What about Chainlink? We're getting some viewers here asking us about Chainlink. Are you watching Chainlink? Are you charting Chainlink?
I am. So Chainlink is what I would include when I mentioned, half of it into blue chip between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the other would be Link. Yeah. So I love Link. I think there's a lot of room for Link to revisit all-time highs again. I don't think there's any reason it won't. Now, I don't know when. I don't want to speculate when. But I think it's a really great spot to keep accumulating some spot tokens. Now, I did tweet out, like a swing trade a couple days ago. I'm currently in a position on Link. I do think we'll see around $15 in the near term if altcoins do continue to rally. So yeah, I love Link.
Awesome. So that is absolutely amazing. The lines here are going crazy. The comments are going crazy. Everyone says, we've got a viewer here that says, Link, $1,000 end of year is FUD. I think $1,000 might be a little bit too ambitious. People are asking here whether Bitcoin whether it's too late to buy Bitcoin now. I guess my answer to people who say that is it's never too late to buy Bitcoin if you're a long-term hodler. I guess that's your answer too.
I guess it just depends. It depends, what your time frame is. If you really have a bull case for Bitcoin for the next 10 years, then yeah, I don't think it's ever too late. personally with me, I like to buy, I'm a value investor. I like to buy things when I know I'm getting them for value. My time frame isn't that long on Bitcoin. It's not necessarily that I don't have a long-term bullish thesis on it, but it's just the nature that I'm more of a level-to-level trader. So, I won't be buying spot at this level. Although I do have some bids to purchase more spot Bitcoin at the stated levels, which we showed earlier.
And one other question from one of our other callers: Ethereum or Bitcoin? Which one would it be? If you had, if you had to make a call, I know you love all your children equally, but if you did have to make a call, where would you put your money today?
In the short term, I would say Ethereum. I think Ethereum has some catching up to do. Bitcoin's had an amazing rally. I think, we're about to break all-time highs. We're very close to all-time highs. Ethereum is still a very far way along. We could do almost a 3x to get to all-time highs here. So I think Ethereum's got a bit of room to run still.
Alrighty, that's exactly my view. A little bit more into Ethereum. Bitcoin has had a run. Ethereum is nowhere near its all-time high. Thank you so much, Altcoin Psycho, for coming on the show. I know this is not something that you usually do. To our viewers, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button now. Remember, the more you hit the like button, the more you hit the subscribe button, the more our community grows, the more people get the algorithm on YouTube, and the more this content spreads. The more this content spreads, the more real-time live information we can bring you. I'm going to toss it over to Adrian Bashuk to close the show for us. Adrian, I know you've been scouring the airwaves. I know you've been scouring the social waves. Adrian, what are you seeing on the social airwaves today?
Let's go ahead and check out Twitter and what that was saying. Let me bring that up 1 second, buddy. We've got a lot of great responses to the show. That's for sure. We've had over 400 commenters. We thank the community. We want to make this a real-time crypto trading channel and platform for you guys to see and monitor literally the airways of crypto and be trading in real time. So stay tuned with us. We're just getting started. You know Rand's name and our CNBC acumen. So we've got the building blocks here of something big, we think. Let's see what Twitter's doing.
We want to bring the community real-time live information. We want to banter. We want to get you guys on. We want to get you guys talking about crypto on the show. So call in, message us, get us on our Twitter at @crypto_banter. Adrian, what are you seeing on Twitter today? What are the coins with the highest social rankings today?
Well, according to Twitter, definitely, as a lot of our panelists talked about, just watch out for Bitcoin. There's a lot of talk of 17K. People are looking to buy back at 17K and then run up from there. Crypto God John is a great trader on Twitter. Funding is neutral. Fiat right now, everyone is screaming for 17K and below. Then time to run it back up. Crypto Kaleo sold a lot more of his portfolio. All the guests on our show are saying the same thing. There's going to be a pullback. There's going to be a pullback. But and you know what they say? They say when people say that there's a pullback, there never is a pullback. Sure. But we've been trading in a range. And then also just a shout out to our other crypto media companions. Pompey had Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank on. Definitely check out the Pomp podcast if you can. Shout out to Peter Schiff. CNBC won't invite gold bugs on their air as their views on the Fed, fiat money, and inflation are considered too far outside the mainstream. But if you trash gold and pump Bitcoin, you're all over CNBC. So he's a little salty.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe this is the argument.
Shout out to Mike in Space. If you're a Bitcoiner but not a libertarian, what does success for Bitcoin look like for you? So keep in mind those political ideologies. Obviously, we had Altcoin Psycho on. He's a lot more bullish on altcoins right now than he is on BTC, and he spoke to that plenty. A lot of talk of YFIs we opened the show with, and he spoke too. And then look at some of the alts. 150 for AAVE sounding rational, but as we know, AAVE is a $1,000 project. I don't know about that, but there's talk on that. Crypto Blackbeard talking about waves.
You made me buy YFI at $3,000 a coin. I remember that I said to you, at $3,000, it's overpriced. I bought a few coins at $3,000. I'm still hodling. I guess that was one of your big calls. I think you also told me to buy Ocean Protocol at about 6 cents, right? I think we bought in together at 6 cents.
Yeah.
I think it went all the way up to 60 cents. So I'm kind of looking at you because I know that you get the majority of your coins from social sentiment. If I were to ask you the same question that I've asked all the other guests, and the question is, if you had $1,000, and we're going to write all of this down and we're going to put it on our website, if you had $1,000 to invest today, you're looking at making the most upside, where would you put your money?
I'm seeing a lot of talk of Oro and Octo. Those are two altcoins that are making some big moves. Hedgic as well. RFI had a run up, came back down to 11 cents. It's poised to maybe make a run up to 40. Those are three gems that there's just a lot of talk about. And then the DeFi majors, YFI, AAVE. Keep an eye on Balancer as well, because people are definitely staking on Balancer. So there's things going on there for sure.
Alrighty, Adrian Bashik, thanks very much. We'll check in with you again tomorrow on the social sentiment. We'll look at the airwaves, because most of these coins actually do move on sentiment alone, all driven by the communities powering these coins. Guys, that's all we have time for tonight. It's been an awesome show today. We've had altcoin picks. We've spoken about Bitcoin. We've spoken about Ethereum. Just a reminder to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because that's what gets our content circulated amongst the community. It's been amazing having you guys. We'll see you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place on Crypto Banter. If you want to talk about your portfolios, let us know. Come join us, same time, same place tomorrow.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.